Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to solve this one together. And we notice that if we were just to add our equations, that nothing would be eliminated. And that's our whole goal when we're using elimination. So what we have to do before we can eliminate is multiply to make our coefficients of one variable match. Okay, we want our coefficients of one variable to be the same. So what we're going to do is notice that 4 and 3, we can't multiply to make those match, but we can multiply this -2 by 5 to make it -10, and then we'd be able to cancel out our y's. So what I want you to do is in this box, we're going to go ahead and type the new equation that we're going to get after we multiply this whole thing by 5. So if I multiply 3x by 5, I would get 15x. And then if I multiply -2y by 5, I would get -10y. And then if I multiply 30 by 5, I get 150. And it looks like I need to make my box a little bit longer. So this is my new system of equations. So notice how I just copied this one over here. I just kind of moved it over and then I rewrote my second equation after multiplying the whole thing by 5. So remember, when I multiply one side, I have to do to the other, and then I get the same equation. I get an equal equation. So now if you look at our two equations, I can go ahead and add them together to eliminate my y's. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to add our equations together, and we can add them because we notice our x's are lined up, our y's and our equal sign, and our constants are all aligned. So if we just add them together, we get 19x, and then 10y minus 10y equals 0. And then we get 150 plus 2 will be 152. So that's our equation after we add them together. Okay. Now we have to solve this equation. So how can we solve 19x equals 152? Yes, you're right, Noah. We're going to divide. We're going to divide by the coefficient in front. So divide to eliminate the coefficient in front of x. So if we divide by 19, we want to show our work. So divide both sides of our equation by 19. So our division lines are here. And now we have x equals 8. Thank you, Noah, for doing that work for us. I do have a link to Desmos scientific calculator if you need a calculator for dividing those. All right, so we have found our x coordinate. Remember, that's halfway there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to kind of reveal the rest of our problem. So it says delete this box after you have found the x coordinate. We have done that, so delete it. And there's our next work we're going to complete. So step 2, it says now choose any equation to solve for y. And I just chose the second equation for no real reason. That's just the one I chose. So now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute 8 in for x. So that means instead of writing x, we're going to replace it with 8. So here's my equation, and there's a box here for x. So I'm going to write 8 in there. So now I have to just kind of simplify this equation. So I know that 3 times 8 is 24 minus 2y equals 30. And this is the equation I have to solve. So all of this is kind of the same, right? Once we have one variable, this is the same for every system we have solved, whether it was for substitution, whether it was for adding or subtracting, and now for multiplying. It's the same process. So now we're going to subtract 24. Oh my, that's very large. So 24. I'm going to subtract 24 here also. And now if we go ahead and simplify, notice how this is a -2y, a minus 2y. So when I write it down here, I want to make sure I write -2y. I'm subtracting 24 and 30. So that will give me 6. I think I deleted my subtraction sign on accident. And now I go ahead and just finish solving. So I'm going to divide to eliminate my coefficient again. So divide by -2. See my division lines? Divide by -2. So y will equal -3. So I have my x, I have my y. I am finished solving, so I can delete this last box and I can type in my answers. Remember, when we type our answer in, you'll want to type the X, then the Y. And I notice that my box is not letting me do that. So if we go to send to back, I thought I got everything layered right, but I apologize. I did not layer that one correctly for you guys. So we put in 8 and -3. Okay, and that's my equation. That's my solution. So 8, -3. And if you need to add your own text box, if that's not cooperating for you, you can. Just press the T up here and you'll be able to add your own box and write your answer. Okay, so if we kind of go back over what we did, we first multiplied to make these coefficients the same. So notice how we have -10 and +10 are going to cancel out when we add them together. So that's our goal when we're using multiplication elimination. We multiply an equation to make those coefficients the same number with different signs. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do is try number 2, the second slide, and it kind of walks you through it just like before. And I hope the boxes will let you type. Again, if it's kind of being trouble, if it's not layered right, you can press the T and add your own box. So you're going to go ahead and work on number 2, and I'll kind of see how you're doing on your slides as we are working.